everyone. Welcome back to Spinning Iris. It is day 20 of Banned Book Month, which means it is time for chapter 20 of Candide by Voltaire. In the last chapter, Candide sent Cacambo to procure Cunegonde's freedom, while he attempted to book passage on a ship to Venice, but was robbed by a rather rude Dutchman, and now he's found passage on a new ship, along with a new traveling companion named Martin. Let's find out what happens next on their journey. Are you ready? Let's go. Chapter 20. What happened to Candide and Martin at sea. And so the old scholar, whose name was Martin, set out for Bordeaux with Candide. They had both seen and suffered much. If the ship had been sailing for Japan by way of the Cape of Good Hope, they would have been able to discuss moral and physical evil during the entire voyage. Candide had one great advantage over Martin, however. He still hoped to see Lady Cunegonde again, while Martin had nothing to hope for. Furthermore, Candide still had some gold and diamonds. And although he had lost 100 red sheep laden with the greatest treasures on earth, and although he was still incensed over the Dutch captain's treachery, when he thought about what he still had in his pockets, and when he spoke about Cunegonde, especially at the end of a meal, he still inclined toward Pangloss's doctrine. "But tell me," he said to the scholar, "what do you think about all that? What are your views on moral and physical evil?" "Sir," replied Martin, "my priests accused me of being a Socinian, but the truth of the matter is that I'm a Manichaean." "You're joking," said Candide. "There are no more Manichaeans in the world." "I'm one," said Martin. "I don't know what to do about it, but I can't think otherwise." "You must be possessed by the devil," said Candide. "He meddles so much in the affairs of this world," said Martin, "that he may well be inside me, and everywhere else too. But I confess that when I consider this globe, or rather this globule, I think that God has abandoned it to some malevolent being, with the exception of El Dorado. I've almost never seen a town that didn't desire the ruin of some neighboring town, or a family that didn't want to exterminate some other family. Everywhere in the world the weak detest the strong and grovel before them, and the strong treat them like flocks of sheep to be sold for their meat and wool. A million regimented assassins sweep over Europe from one end to the other, murdering and robbing with discipline to earn their bread, because there's no more honorable occupation. And in towns that seem to enjoy peace and where the arts flourish, the envies, cares, and anxieties that assail the people are more numerous than the afflictions of a besieged town. Secret torments are even more agonizing than public miseries. In short, I've seen and experienced so much that I'm a Manichaean." "But there is some good in the world," said Candide. "Perhaps so," said Martin, "but I haven't seen it." In the middle of this argument they heard a sound of gunfire, which grew louder at every moment. Everyone took out his telescope and saw 2 ships fighting about 3 miles away. The wind brought them both so close to the French ship that those on board her had the pleasure of watching the fight in comfort. Finally, one of the ships fired a broadside so low and so accurately that the other ship sank. Candide and Martin distinctly saw 100 men on the deck of the sinking ship. They all raised their hands to heaven and uttered terrible cries. A moment later they had all been swallowed up by the sea. "You see," said Martin, "that's how men treat each other." "It's true that there was something diabolical in what we just saw," said Candide. As he spoke, he saw something bright red in the water, moving toward his ship. A boat was lowered to find out what it might be. It was one of Candide's sheep. His joy at finding that sheep again was greater than his sorrow over losing 100 of them, all laden with large diamonds from El Dorado. The French captain soon learned that the captain of the victorious ship was a Spaniard, and the captain of the sunken ship had been a Dutch pirate, the same man who had robbed Candide. The enormous wealth stolen by that scoundrel had gone to the bottom of the sea with him. Only 1 sheep had been saved. "This proves that crime is sometimes punished," Candide said to Martin. "That black-hearted Dutch captain has met the fate he deserved." "Yes," said Martin, "but did all the passengers on his ship have to perish with him? God punished that scoundrel, but the devil drowned the others." The French ship and the Spanish one continued on their way, and Candide continued his conversation with Martin. They argued steadily for 2 weeks, and at the end of that time they had gotten no further than they were at the beginning. But at least they had been talking, communicating ideas and consoling each other. Candide stroked his sheep. "Since I found you," he said, "I'm sure I can find Cunegonde again." And that is the end of chapter 20. Well, Martin certainly has a strong view of the world, much different from Pangloss and Candide, and I'm sure we'll find out more of his ideas and opinions in the next chapter. Hope you'll join me. Take care. Bye-bye.